Little Red Riding Hood. In a quaint village bordered by the ominous Black Forest, lived a girl universally known as Little Red Riding Hood, always cloaked in the scarlet hood given by her grandmother. One cloudy morning, her mother prepared a heavy basket filled with cakes, butter, and elderberry wine. Your grandmother is frail and lonely, her mother instructed. Take this to her cottage, but heed this warning. Do not wander. Keep to the cobblestone path and never speak with anyone you do not know. The deep woods hold dangers. Red promised her mother and set off. The path soon turned from brick fields to shadowy trees. Despite her promise, the silence of the woods began to feel heavy. She soon noticed a dazzling patch of sunlit wood violets just off the main path. Grandmother loves violets. She reasoned, stepping under the branch. Suddenly, a massive snake wove apart from behind an oak tree. His eyes were cold yellow, but his smile was unnervingly polite. "Good day, my young beauty," the wolf purred. What brings such a delicate creature into this deep shadow? Red, flattered by his word, completely forgot her mother's stern warning. "I'm visiting my sick grandmother," she replied, proudly showing the basket. "She lives in the clearing beyond the brook." The wolf's smile widened, revealing a flash of white teeth. "What a dutiful child, put luck around you. The path is dull, yet these woods are brimming with life. Go that way." He pointed towards a dark, winding trail. "It is far more scenic, and you can pick her some honeysuckle. I shall take this boring main road." The naive girl thanked him for the advice and hurried down the scenic, long road. The cruel wolf immediately sped down the shorter cobblestone path toward the cottage. He reached the cabin and, using a chillingly accurate imitation of Red's voice, convinced the ailing grandmother to open the door. In a moment of sheer brutality, the wolf leaped from the shadow and swallowed the old woman whole. He then meticulously dressed in her neckcloths, covered his face with the lace cap, and hid under the quilt. Along with later, Little Red Riding Hood arrived, feeling guilty about her tardiness. The door was ajar, and the cottage felt eerily cold. "Grandmother," out. She called out softly, approaching the bed. A muffled, shaky voice replied, "Welcome, dear one. Draw the curtains and come closer. My eyes are failing." Red drew near the bed and pulled back the curtains, revealing the large, shadowy figure. "Oh, grandmother," Red whispered, fear starting to crawl in her stomach. "What big ears you have! I'll be better to hear you with my dear," came the gravely reply. "And grandmother, what big coarse hands you have! I'll be better to hold you with my dear." Finally, her voice shaking with terror, Little Red Riding Hood asked, "Oh, grandmother, what a terrific big mouth and teeth you have!" The wolf threw off the blanket with a roar. "I'll do better to eat you with a snap." The wolf devoured the little girl. Satisfied with his monstrous meal, he fell into a deep, heavy slumber, snoring loud enough to shake the wooden beams fortunately. A watchman or hunter passing by heard the unnatural rumbling snores. Suspicious, he peered inside, instantly recognizing the fiendish beast. Armed with his axe, he approached the bed. He caused not to kill the beast outright, but to try and save its victim. With a skilled and steady hand, the watchman cut open the wolf's innermost belly. Out stepped little Riding Hood and her grandmother, gasping but miraculously saved. They punished the villain. They filled the wolf's stomach with heavy river stones, stitched him up, and waited. When the wolf awoke and tried to run, the immense wake dragged him down, and he perished in the woods. Little Red Riding Hood terribly embraced her grandmother, having learned the painful lesson. Never ignore the wisdom of your elders, and never stray from the path of caution.